It's about your second stimulus check, your Cash Act $2,000 stimulus check, your Biden third stimulus check, and your first stimulus check. I'm so excited you joined me with big developments about everything across the board. Minutes ago, I revealed on this channel your new head of SBA is Isabel Guzman. Isabel Guzman is your new head of SBA, replacing the Honorable Jovita Carranza. Jovita Carranza is going by. Can you imagine? I'm outliving Jovita Carranza. And Kimberly Butler, the woman that changed the goalposts on your EIDL grant throughout the first 3 months of this channel. Jovita Carranza and Kimberly Butler, adios. They're leaving SBA, but Jovita late is stayed. So congratulations to that. I have big updates about your $2,000 stimulus check, your $600 stimulus check, and everything else. If you've not subscribed, please do go to the Funnest channel, subscribe, hit that alert button, that little bell, and then also like this video. And if you've not become a member yet, please consider becoming a member. Some of those that I see are members are Lorena McCraw. She's a member, and by becoming a member, she can use those delicious $12 ice cream emojis whenever she wants to do $12 emojis, Lorena, or sirloin emojis, or moolah emojis, or more. And more emojis will come. The more of you that become Purple Hawks, Purple Powers, or that become Calcino VIPs like Miss Jenny, she just killed it there. And Tad Crossman just killed it there as well. As the more people who become members, the more emojis I can add. So excited for you. In this video, I'm going to cover everything, but I'll do especially unemployment because this is our unemployment Q&A video. And I have so much details across the board. First, the good news about unemployment FPUC is that it's being paid in a lot of states currently. If your unemployment is currently at a lockdown phase where it's sort of inactive, don't worry. Your state's going to switch it from inactive to active. It's sort of a time lapse situation. So some viewers may have gotten paid the $300 in their state, but the good news is that everyone is eventually going to get paid. Under second stimulus, FPUC is extended to March 14th. PUA is extended to March 14th, and UI is extended to March 14th. In this video, I'm going to go over the second stimulus, the Cash Act stimulus, Biden stimulus, as to the checks, but I'll especially focus on unemployment, and I'll answer your questions at about the 15-minute mark. And so there you go. Tia's giving us updates on some of the games. I appreciate that as well. What a day it is. Let me go to what's happening next week as to the $2,000 stimulus check. If you've been with me for a while, you have seen me cover elected officials' press conferences, and when they give press conferences, what they often do is they talk about things but don't talk about numbers. I did that with Nancy for all of 6 months last year, where Nancy would just say, I want to kill this, and I want to do that. What's the number, Nancy? Well, I'm not telling you the number. So if you've been with me for a while, I don't like when elected officials don't give us numbers. But guess what's happening next week? Joe Biden's introducing your third stimulus package next week. Woo! Yes, finally next week, Joe Biden is announcing your third stimulus package next week. But does that mean he's giving us numbers? Is he giving us numbers? Drop in the comments if you think when Joe Biden announces his stimulus package next week, if he's going to give us numbers or not. Santa, can you stop asking me to turn up volume? I don't have a volume button. I'm the recorder. You have a volume button. Can you go to turn up the volume? You can turn up the volume button. I love that. So we're telling me I can shout if you want me to shout. Oh my God. Yes, no, yes. Some numbers, says Scott Watson. Don says yes. So some people think we're going to get some numbers. No, we're not going to get numbers, says Rose Double. Andrea says no. Some people say yes, some people said no. Do you think Joe Biden's going to give us numbers? Sally is laughing like me. Lena says yes. Do you think Joe Biden's going to give us numbers? No, says Lisa. Yes, says Mario. No, says Jenny. Adrian says yes. Okay, so we're about 50-50 split. Kathleen says yes. Phaedra says yes, question mark. I don't know if yes, question mark counts. That's sort of like yes, no. What's like choose a position. Oh, we got a couple yeses there. Yes, 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 yes. So wow, so we have more yeses than no. Okay, let me ask it this way. Next question. Are we going to get all the numbers or just some of the numbers? All or some? Tell me if you think you're gonna get all the numbers. Sort of like he says, I'll do unemployment at FPUC 600 or some, all, some. Okay, so people think some of the numbers, but you're going to get numbers. That's good. Okay, so this is based upon that projection. Let me give you what it looks like Joe Biden's press conference is going to be next week. I'm going to give you FPUC at $600. Which weeks, Joe? Well, that's all I got to say. I'm going to give you $2,000 stimulus checks. One. Well, that's all I'm going to tell you for now. What do you mean, Joe? Are you going to give us one $2,000 stimulus check or like 10 $2,000 stimulus checks? I'll tell you later. So that's why I asked that question because I think that's what's going to happen next week. I think that's what's going to happen next week. I want to prepare you. You remember when Candy Burris turned to Nene Leakes in that reunion like 3 years ago, and they said, "We see each other. We see each other." Well, I want to do a "we see each other" moment. I've been telling you for 4 or 5 weeks what Joe Biden promised in his papers, his transition papers, his campaign papers, and everything. I just smacked my fist in the face. I've been telling you what Joe Biden promised. He's an elected official. They always change their story. So I want you to be prepared. We see each other if next week Joe Biden changes his story. If Joe Biden changes his story next week, he's only been in office he hasn't even been in office yet. Is he already changing his story? Get ready for Joe Biden to potentially change his story. Why? Because I read a news article which was very badly written, and the way you read it, it says that Joe Biden says he wants to give you the CARES Act, the Cash Act. Okay, well that's nice, Joe. You want to give us the Cash Act? Wait, he says you're owed the remainder of your $2,000. Oh, that's really nice, but that's for last year. What are you giving us for this year, Joe? I want to give you the remainder of your $2,000 for last year. Okay, Joe, what are you doing for stimulus this year? This is 2021. That's last year. That's 2020. What are you doing for this year? So I saw that. I'm like, no way, Joe. You are not giving us You're not giving us 2020 stimulus in 2021 and acting like that stimulus. That is not. I'm not a happy camper when I read that. I'm like, what is that really what you're trying to say, Joe? Better not be the case. So people are saying, are we going to get the $1,400? Yes, you're getting the $1,400. So I had that all day, all the Instagram room. Are you getting the $1,400? You're getting the $1,400. That's not my concern. You're getting the $1,400. My concern is whether that's all you're getting. Because when you read this, it's like, wait a second, Joe, is that all you're giving us is $1,400? Is that all you're actually giving us as a stimulus check is $1,400? We've been in this pandemic since March of last year. Is that what we're getting at? So I just hope that's not the case. What about the $2,000 double C? That's what I'm referring to. Joe, the way you read this article, which maybe the article's wrong, it sounds like Joe wants to give you the remainder of the $2,000, and that's it. See you after the pandemic. Have a great life. Oh my God, I hope that is not the case. I hope that's God. Let's hope not, says Calsey. No way, says Rose. What about the $200 for SI? Well, I'm not at that problem yet. I'm at one problem at a time. Oh my God. So let's just hope that is not what. Let's do the Hawk sound. Oh yeah, that's just not cool. Hawk, dying Hawk. I'm like, what are we doing here? It better not be some crap junk bill Uh, oh God, I read that. I'm like, you better not be doing that, Joe. You better not be giving us 2019 stimulus. You better not be giving us 2011 stimulus in 2020. This is just not a good thing. So that's the first thing. So anyone that asks me, are we getting my $1,400? Of course you're getting your $1,400. The question is whether if that's all you're getting for the next 7 months. Oh my goodness. So please no, says I Canis. Absolutely. And then there was this bit. Some news reporter asked him, how big do you think the stimulus package will be? Now, you've heard me say, Joe has actually said he wants to give $7 trillion to the schools, $9 trillion to the highways. I said, well, of course he's going to give stimulus 3 to 5 trillion. He's giving 7 trillion to darn schools. Hello, there's a couple more of us than some schools. So the question to you is asked. Thank you, Jim, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Is how much is the stimulus package going to be, Joe? And he said, well, it's at least in the trillion. Don't tell me you're doing a $1 trillion stimulus package, Joe. You know what a $1 trillion stimulus package is. I heard that number. I'm like, at least a trillion. Well, how about at least like 7 trillion, Joe? What do you mean at least a trillion? It's not that. It was not a good line either. Why? Because Joe has already said he's giving Nancy her state and local, and that's 1 trillion. Well, what's left for us? You're giving Nancy 1 trillion. What's left for us? What are we getting in here? So as Melanie said in the Instagram room, crap. What about 100 trillion? Very well said, Scott. What about 100 trillion? What in the world is 1 trillion? No, he did not say 3 trillion for the highways. He said 9 trillion for the highways and 7 trillion for the schools. But when the news reporter asked him about us, he said, "Well, it'll be, it'll be a trillion. It'll be at least a trillion." Oh, yeah. How about add another zero on that, Joe? It better be at least 10 trillion. What do you mean at least a trillion? So very, let's just hope that press conference next week is not the way it's starting to come already. When the government says 8 trillion, they mean 20 trillion, says Scott Watson. Let's just hope. Boy, he asked Bernie Sanders to be labor secretary, Joe. And then they thought they can't have Bernie Sanders as labor secretary because that would switch the balance of power in the. Thank you for the super chat. That was Mohammed. Thank you for the super chat. So 200 trillion, says Sue. Yeah, absolutely. Take care of us first. Absolutely. So it's just shocking. It really, really is shocking. So. There we are. Oh wow, Alma and Catherine, thank you for Purple Power. Wow, Purple Power and Purple Hawk, very, very kind. So I'm preparing you. We see each other, Nini and Candy. We see each other. If Joe Biden next week says, "I'm giving you FPUC at $100 a week," and then you're like, "LA, you told us it could be $600 a week," because Joe put it in writing 3 months for 3 months. If he comes out at FPUC 54 cents a week, just don't come back shouting at me because this is just it better not happen. That ain't stimulus. That's nothing. How do you become a member? At the top of the pinned comment to this video, there's a link that says join. What's going on with Hazard Pay? All your questions then. Everything else he did not talk about because he's like, I'll tell you next week. I'll tell you next week. I got to leave some suspense. So he talked about nothing else in this short little thing. So I don't know anything else about what's happening next week. Is Cash Act still happening? That's a great question, Melissa. So basically, the way Biden made it sound is Cash Act is not happening as a standalone bill. It will be part of Biden's stimulus package. But that's not the worry. The worry is that's all that the stimulus package is. That all it is. Are we? Oh God! So Christy, if you're just joining me, let me make it clear. Christy just wrote on the screen. Are we still getting the $1,400? Christy, this is my concern. Yes, you're getting the $1,400. The question is whether that's all you're going to get till July, till the end of this pandemic. which is insane. That's the concern is not there is no $1,400 only proposals. Well, first of all, let me make this clear. This is your president-elect. Anything he puts in writing will become a law. And that, so anything he wants will become a law. So let's just hope that he changes his mind or that news report was inaccurate, because that's a little confusing. I'm so lost. Okay, I'll give you an update now because we're at the 15-minute mark. Let's do an update. The update, if you're joining me just now on Afternoons Lalate with Bean and Mitch, let me go over where we are. It's not a proposal. He's the President of the United States. Let me make something clear to people who want to act like the president doesn't have any control over what he does. The President-elect of the United States, Joe Biden, next week will introduce his bill that he is going to call for a vote and land on his table on January 20th. It's not a proposal, it's his bill. And the bill will be the one that will ultimately give you money. This is not like he's talking to the person at the coffee shop about your donut. This actually is your bill. And this is the bill that he has been working on for 9 months of a campaign. But the question is whether this bill is not what we had been told it was going to have in there. Does it have SSI at $2,400? Does it have EIDL grant, the remainder of it? Does it have hazard pay? Does it have all these things? The suspense is killing me, and it should be killing you as well. We have very little details because he's not telling us. But in the coverage of the subject matter, the comments were a little bit strange. They're not conclusively clear that this is what he's saying. But he said that the Cash Act, he basically said the Cash Act would be part of his stimulus package. So it's not going to be standalone. Item number one. Two, that you're getting $2,000 total as a stimulus check for the last year and a half. What? And that, God, and that when asked how big is your stimulus package going to be, well, it'll be $1 trillion. When we're expecting like 3 to 5 or 6 trillion. Thank you for being a Purple Hawk. So let's just hope this is not the case. Let's just hope this is not the case. And a lot of things unfolding. We need $2,000 a month, says Kathleen. Absolutely. $2,000 for 12 months is insane. We're talking about stimulus from March to last year to July of this year. Donut man needs more than that for his donuts, says someone. That's a very well said comment. So that's absolutely true. What's going to go down when the money runs out? I don't know what that means. How are you, LA? I'm good, but I'm just sort of confused by this article. It's not the first time I've seen articles that are actually very wrong, but I had to tell you that's what's going on. And ultimately, I know that someone's going to drop in the comments. So does that mean we're not getting? No, I'm just telling you what the article says. So does that mean we're not? That means we're not getting that. It starts from me telling you what a news article is to to the telephone. Then someone saying Biden already said you're not getting anything else. So there you go. Allied already said it. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. We need $2,000 every month. Thank you, Priscilla, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Crush the laptop. So that's why I started this chat by asking you, do you think Joe's going to give us numbers? And viewers said, yeah. And then I said, how many numbers? All, some. Viewers said some. And I said, well, let's just hope he gives us all of them, because at this point, I really want to see more of this. I want to see more clarity about what's going on. Now that we're almost at the 20-minute mark, Donut guy has problems, says William. What about everything else? No clarity. So if you're asking me a question, what else did Joe say? There's no clarity. It was a peripheral, vague, see you next week type of thing, like a little catch me next week. I got a press conference. So I don't know anything else about what else he's thinking in his mind. Ask me any questions now that we're at the 20-minute mark. Do you have links for us to read up on ourselves? No. I mean, what? I just love that. No, this is a news channel. Why would I tell you to go read someone else's news? Hi, this is CNN. Go watch Fox. Just CNN tell you to go watch Fox. Does Fox tell you to go watch CNN? No. I don't tell you to go all the watch other news channels. No. Do you know what we need to file our taxes if we didn't make any money? I don't know what that means. Uh, how can I get free rent if I'm an SSI? Robert, reach out to the volunteers. They're in the pinned comment to this video, news.la.com/community. Do you think there'll be a stay-at-home order coming from Biden? No. That's a state order. The problem with socialism, you eventually have to run on other people's money. Okay. Uh, what's a purple hawk? A purple hawk is someone who stays and is ready to pounce and get the money as soon as it goes live, as opposed to a donut guy who just sits around and doesn't do anything and just wants free money. Donut guy just wants money to land in his bank account, whereas a purple hawk knows that there's a lot of money to pounce. Is Purple Power getting COVID vaccines? If in California you ain't getting crap here, this is just awful. Thank you, Deborah, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Do I have to refile my FPUC to get extended benefits? No. Do not refile your claim to get extended benefits. Reach out to your unemployment office if you're not going from inactive to active. Thank you, Suzanne, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Ask me any more questions. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, alternate splicing. When does PUA start in New Mexico? I don't know. Oh, New Mexico is one of those slow states, so middle of January. Why do I need to refile? You don't need to refile. Welcome, Suzanne. Are they going to be putting the money in the debit card they sent? If you got a debit card, it already has the money on it. If you've already gotten that white envelope with the debit card in it for the $600 stimulus check, it already has it in there. Donut guy wants the vaccine to come to him, ally. How can I get my stimulus check if I just started? Oh, that was a good question. If I just started on SSI and disability, yours truly. Oh boy, yours truly. Yours is a situation I talked about for over 7 months on this channel. If you just started unemployment, if you just started disability this year or SSI, and you never had filed a tax return before this, you're not getting a check. That was the subject matter I talked about for 7 months. They don't know who you are or where you are, and so you should have had done a non-final filing unless you are dependent on someone else's tax return or some other issue. This $1,400 is the correction. Then Biden will only have his own bill for more money, right? That's my hope. The question that I'm seeing here is the question I'm seeing here is from NA is exactly my concern, that the way Biden's talking about it, he's like, yeah, I'll give you the remainder of the $2,000, but that's all you're going to get for the entire rest of this year. Wait a second, that was for last year. What do you mean you're going to give us the last for this year? What about the multiple stimulus checks? Well, no, I'm just fixing the thing for last year. That's all you're going to get. So I hope that's not what's happening next week. I just hope. Says what? Felicia. Yeah, Felicia her eyes just popped out with 3 exclamation marks. That's nuts, says Tina. That is nuts. That's why I'm just like, I hope that's not what this means. Because the article was unclearly written. He better make it loud and clear, says Adrian. He better. This would just be insane. So we're going to have to wait to the 20th to get the remaining balance. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I've been reporting across the channel today. You're not going to see any stimulus bills or votes before January 19th. That's what I've been reporting across the channel today. You're not going to see any bills before January 19th. The question is, what's happening on January 19th? As Iconis just said, come on, Joe, you better do that. He better not pull that poo-poo, said someone just now. Very well said. Better not do that. This better not be another elected official who ran on a platform of things he was going to give you and suddenly doesn't give you I almost cursed. Doesn't give you anything. Better give you what and people are starting to ask me, how about this? How about this? How about he doesn't tell you. This is I've been to this pony show before and I don't enjoy it. You heard me tell you all throughout November, I don't like when Joe Biden says this is down payment. I kept on saying a down payment on what, Joe? What is a down payment on? You better not play games with us and not give us exactly what you're promising. And it better not be a $1.5 trillion stimulus package where the 1.2 is for Nancy states and nothing's for us. But I'm going to keep it positive because we're going negative really quickly. I just Adam, thank you for the purple hawk. Uh, yeah, let's just keep it positive because bottom line is everyone's going to be biting their fingernails on next week waiting to see this announcement because it better not play games with our darn money. He better give us what he promised. Um, and this is why I said we see each other. I'm telling you what Joe has told you on the campaign trail and his papers, his transition papers. He better not back off and give you diddly do because that won't be cool and it won't be stimulus. It won't be anything. For real. Yes, absolutely. The Whitney screen keeps freezing. There is nothing we can do, Lalate, if they lie to us, says Miss Jacob. Very well said. There's nothing for us to do if they lie to us, except vote them out again. Oh my God. MSC, says Pamela. SSI, SSDI for kids under 18. Um, I don't know what the question is. If you're talking about stimulus check, yes. Um, my 17-year-old dependent is homeschool. He won't get anything. No, he would get the $2,000 stimulus check. And if I didn't file for 2019, if I didn't file for 2019, would I get a stimulus check? That's a hard question because I don't know what else is going on in your life. If you've never filed a tax return, then the IRS doesn't know who you are or where you are. They can't send you a stimulus check. They don't know who you are. Um, Hello from Wisconsin. Hello. He's gonna forget. He's old. Oh, jeez, don't say that. Don't say he's gonna forget to do your stuff because he's old. That just, oh God, don't. Someone remind him quickly. Ella, your one-man show. I appreciate it. Update. Yeah, I'll have an update for you at the 30-minute mark. Will my daughter get the $2,000? Yeah, everyone, you will get the $2,000. That is not the concern. The concern is that you get nothing else. That's the big concern. Will our tax refunds be higher this year? I don't know. What about my 25-year-old daughter who is on SSI? If you have a child that's on SSI and you're on SSI, the IRS doesn't know of the child if you've never told them. They will not get a stimulus check. But if the IRS has been told of the existence of the child on your tax return, then she will get a $2,000 stimulus check. The issue is when you say 25-year-old SSI, the only thing that triggers that issue is that whether the IRS knows this child exists. Um, will Social Security get more? The $2,400? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's just suspense. It's suspense at its worst. It's like no one likes to be cheesed like this. What happens when unemployment runs out? Well, at the moment you're to March 14th on the second stimulus package. What about Schumer? Yeah, the question is whether this is going to be just sort of Joe Biden saying here, or whether Democrats are going to come back and say, this is not enough, Joe. What is this? You went too cheap on this. What is this cheap bill? And whether they push back and say, give more money. She's an adult on SSI. She did get the first one and did file the non-filer. Oh, okay. She's an adult on SSI. She'll get the stimulus check. They know where she is. She's fine. She's fine. They know where she is. No problem. Um, I'm getting dementia from all of 2020. Lord. Will they look at the 2018 tax return? Will they look if I didn't file for 2019 to get the stimulus? Maybe to find where you are. Michael, thank you for being Purple Hawk. Maybe to see where you are. Do I need to get a credit score to get the grant from SBA? Great question. Answer, no. That's a great question. No, it's only for the loan. And if you're denied for the loan, you can get the grant. I did get this one question. I was thinking about this morning, and I just saw this question. I really had to laugh. I had to laugh because I saw the question. Can President Trump still do executive orders for your stimulus checks? Oh my God. Oh. Can President Trump still do executive orders for your stimulus checks? Someone's laughing as well. I don't think he has that type of priority in his mind at the moment. If you ask his former attorney, what was his name, from New York, who appeared on MSNBC, Donald Trump only cares about himself, only cares about himself, only cares about himself. So unless it has to do with him getting like some special award, he's not going to do your $2,000 stimulus check. I've had to endure this for now 7 months, so I have the right to say this now. No, President Trump is not going to do executive order for your stimulus check unless it gets him some special thing for himself, like it gets him a new place for a hotel. Otherwise, he is not going to do a stimulus check unless he gets like some special parking spot or new hotel property in Russia. He's not going to do a stimulus check by executive order unless it like gets him free discounts for golf clubs somewhere. I could actually say that now. That's actually true. I mean, no one really thinks he's going to do anything for anyone except himself at this point. Oh my God. Are we getting the 2,000, the 1,400? Well, if you're adult dependent, you get the 2,000 because you didn't get the 600. And if you got the 600, you're getting $1,400. Now we are at the if you got the $1,000 grant, can you still get the remainder of the $9,000? Yeah. So let me give you an update at the 31-minute mark because I really need to give you an update because I'm worried that by telling you confusing news, I may have confused you. You know, when I do these recordings, I never know if I should tell you something that's percolating, that's confusing, because maybe it confuses you, or not to tell you. And this was one of those recordings. Do I tell you something that's percolating out there that's confusing, or do I just keep my mouth closed and wait for the final story to come out? Well, I decided to tell you what's percolating out there that's confusing. And ultimately, hopefully you understand it is percolating. It is not yet the news. And so let me tell you where we are. Someone said, I'm very confused. You should be confused. A series of reports have come out in the last 24 hours that are confusing. This is not the fact. It's rumor. It's rumor. It's like, is the person on Real Housewives cheating on her husband? It's rumor. It's rumor. It's not news yet. It's not fact. So don't repeat it as fact. It's rumor. But I need to tell you what this rumor is. The rumor is that next week, when Joe Biden introduces the stimulus package for his administration, he's going to have in it the Cash Act, the $2,000, the $1,400 on top of your $600. And that's it for your stimulus check. That is it. That there is no other stimulus check in there except that which is from 2019. From 2020, that we've been waiting around from stimulus checks from March of last year, and we got a measly $600 in the fall, and we were expecting stimulus checks in all last year. We're expecting stimulus checks in the fall. We're expecting stimulus checks. Biden said multiple stimulus checks next year, and that the article is suggesting that's all you're going to get between now and the end of the pandemic is $1,400 more. It's totally crazy. What the hell? It's crazy. Someone said it's crazy. It is crazy. Nah, that's crazy. So I have to tell you, it's rumor. It is not fact. The article talked about nothing else. So people are starting to ask, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? I don't know. It didn't. The rest of the article is just all rumor. The other part of the article I don't like. That's nuts, says Paul. Absolutely, it is nuts. It is nuts. It's ridiculous, says Alma. What about? The article doesn't talk about anything else. The other article does say one other line, which I also don't like. Oh. The article says a person asked Biden, how big is the stimulus package going to be? a couple billion. A billion is like a joke. A trillion. And Joe answered, it'll be at least a trillion. What do you mean at least a trillion? What do you mean a stimulus package is at least a trillion? Because he's already said Nancy's getting her staying local. That's 1 trillion unto itself. What do you mean at least a trillion? A trillion for Nancy staying local and then 4 pennies for us? So I hope this is not where we're going. Joe said that in the last 3 days, again, he said 15,000 times that he's giving 7 trillion to the schools, 9 trillion for the highways. But this article says he's going to do at least a trillion for us. What do you mean? Now, someone says makes me sick. Don't get sick. Don't make you sick because I told you there's 2 ways for me to choose how to do this. Either keep my mouth shut, not tell you when I hear bad gossip, because this is gossip. This is 100% gossip. Please don't be sad, Jacqueline. This is why I don't bring these things up. Please don't be sad or be sick or get a headache or anything. This is gossip. If you don't want me to say gossip, I won't mention gossip on this channel. But it is gossip. It's good we know, says Andrea. But I don't want people to get reactions from it. And just sort of, yeah, there go the emojis, the down face emojis. Just stay positive, stay positive. We don't know. No, tell us when you read it as soon as you hear it. Gossip is not good. Gossip is not good. So it's rumor, and I said to you 15 times it's rumor. And if you go posting on Facebook, it's fact, or LA told it's fact, then shame on you, because I'm telling you it's rumor. And so I don't want you to repeat as fact, but I want you to know what's percolating out there. And the next few recordings will not repeat it again. So I'm not going to go back to repeating the gossip. I'm just telling you one time and one time only, so you hear about it. But we do, thank you, DM Williams, because it's better to know things ahead of time before they hit. Now, when I say it's gossip, let me explain to the extent to which it was gossip. It's gossip because the news article is not clearly written. The news article is a combination of questions to the president-elect and then interpretations of his words. I'm like, well, what the hell did he say? I mean, what did he say? We need to know all the words. Give us the whole quote. So it's a badly written news article is really sort of the best way to describe it. It's a badly written news article that's not clear. Let's just hope that's not the case. So stay focused and stay positive. Just one article. Yeah, I mean, I read like 10 of them, and just one article just sort of ran the quote and the interpretation of something. So it's like, you have known me a long time that I have ran articles on this channel that were totally false. And I said, hey, there's one article out there and it's totally false. And I want you to be aware of a totally false article out there. So stay positive. The focus is stay positive, stay informed. And staying informed is being aware of things hitting out there. So if you hear this somewhere between now and when the press conference here hits, you say, oh, LA went over this already. This was that gossip junk. Let's wait till we hear the real facts. It's gossip. Let's wait. But LA's telling us it's gossip, so we know ahead of time. It's sort of like, it's like when a Real Housewife is getting divorced. I heard they're getting divorced. Who heard that? I heard they're getting divorced. Did you hear they're getting divorced? It's gossip until they announce they're getting divorced. Then it's all gossip until the event occurs. So it's important to advise you there is a rumor going around, but I don't want you to believe it's fact. I want you to be aware of the rumor. So if you see it mentioned somewhere else, you know it is currently rumor. We don't know if it's true rumor or false rumor. And there you go. Thank you for joining me on Afternoons LA. I'll be back next with Check live, and then Purple live tonight. Check will cover your second stimulus check, and Purple will cover your third stimulus Biden package. And as always, thank you for the new Purple Hawks, like Becky was right there, and Carol and Micah and Scott Watson. And if you've not become a member, there's a link at the top of this video where you can hit to join. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and I'll see you in a little bit, and stay with LA for more.